Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. Elul time, 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to start Sif base. So we're saying Sif Aleph. Essentially, the whole thing of Elul is that Hashem makes himself accessible. The king is in the field, and the purpose of Elul is to help us connect so we can go back to the city with the king. And which means in simple English that in Elul, God gives a special opportunity to connect with him in different, In Elul, God helps us connect with him through the mundane, through the daily things, more so than throughout the rest of the year. And through that, that's the preparation that in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, which is the leDodi aspect, will be able, which gives us the avenue for the year, will be able to be a lot stronger. And that's essentially what we said. So essentially, in a sense, and we asked the question, why is El not a Yom Tov? And because the king's in the field. Meaning the revelation of godliness is the same as on Yom Kippur. It's just the way we sense it is different. Like the king in the field versus the king in the palace. So essentially, and finished, you could say, in a certain sense, you could say the mime is finished. That's it. I have to make sure that I go greet the king in the field. I have to make sure to work on myself. I'm really tapping into the avenue that I have within me as a preparation for what I'm going to receive from Lamaila, from above, on Tishrei. And that will help the rest of the year. But if you start to try to do this, and you recognize, you make sure to get Nefesh Kiss, be the one that's making the decisions, and you're trying, and you'll realize, unfortunately, it's not working so well. It's not just know the answer to the problem, but it's having to recognize that there's things that get in the way. So like I said yesterday, the first thing is you have to know who's talking. Nefesh Bahamas, Nefesh Kiss. And then when you start to realize who is talking and recognizing it, you'll realize that as much as I want to be connected to the king in the field, and I want to have that connection with God, and I want to have Av and Yira, and I want to work on that, but it's things are stopping me within myself, my own issues. So now we're going to discuss, the rest of the time essentially going to discuss how to solve this. And it's a very interesting. Okay, Sif base. And behold, Yesh ba'adam b'chinas ir moishav b'chinas sadeh or midbar. So within us, I'm going to continue referencing to the Maimon, to the Mashal in the Maimon. Within us, there is a level of city, field, and desert. Because in the Maimon, in the Mashal, he says that the king is coming back to the city. The people of the city go to the field to greet the king in the field. Together, they go back to the city, and he goes into the palace. So we're going to discuss. There's a city, there's the field, and then there's a desert. And what does that mean spiritually? Meaning, what does that mean for us in terms of our challenges in life and how to connect with those challenges and how to overcome them? And where am I? Am I in the city, the field, and the desert? Let's see. So what's a midbar? What's the desert? What's a desert? A desert is a place nothing lives. It's not a livable situation. Nothing grows. So what does that mean in spiritual terms? That means within a person, that's the maisim, v'diburim, umachshavos, the actions, the speech, and the thought, asher lo l'Hashem hema, which aren't to God. Nothing can grow from the negative thought, speech, and action. So we don't have to say, meaning for sure, we're not even talking about impagav machshavos ma'aser. If he actually made an indent, meaning he actually did something wrong, he thought about something wrong, we did something wrong, like halachically, that we're not allowed to do. I'm not even talking about halachically. It's isr. Ela afilu gam inyane heter. Even permissible things. I ate food. I talked. I did went to work. But but these things I did were not connected with serving Hashem at all. But diburim and speech Batalim, which was just, a wasted speech. Love urcha, the malch is not the way of the king. To hang out in the words, the mundane affairs, meaning essentially what we have to be doing, or we're trying to reach the goal, and the goal in life of a chassid is that their lives is totally connected to God. That everything we do from the moment we wake till the next day, it's all about connecting to God. Just like in a relationship with a husband and wife, a proper relationship is that everything they do is together. It doesn't mean that you can't do anything separately, but everything that you're doing is part of that whole. And that's how it works in a marriage. It works with your kids. Same thing. That everything you do in your life is all connected to this one goal, to raising a family. And so too with Yiddishkeit, we're talking about the whole thing is that we're trying to connect everything to Hashem. When we go to work, we can go to work to Hashem. We have just different, and it means you have opportunity to connect to Hashem with anything you do. But what happens, unfortunately, you don't do those things. Meaning you eat not because it's the healthy thing to eat and it's going to help you serve God better, have a better day, but eat, but it tastes good. What happens if you go out and hang with your friends, instead of having a good conversation about something productive, about a life, about a Torah subject that you learned, but you just talk about someone else, some negative talk about someone else, or you just talk about stupid things and that really valueless conversation, or you look at places you shouldn't be looking, whatever it is, all these things, and it really take some time to look at yourself and see these things. If we have this, so then we're in the level of the desert. And this is what it means. This is what it means when it says that a person, Adam, didn't dwell there. Meaning there's not a place for living people. What does that mean? Pirush Adam. What does it mean that it's not a place for a person? Look, Moshe goes like it says, "Al demus akise demus kamar Adam." Just like on the chariot of Yechezkel's vision, that there's a chariot, which is like the throne of God. Al demus akise demus kamar Adam. So one of the things leading it, there's some animals, and there's also a person. There's an Adam. The game here. That's Adam. So that's a very spiritual, holy level. So that's what it means when we say Adam. He's saying Lo Yashav Sham, and what does it mean? Doesn't dwell there. Doesn't dwell in this desert. Desert meaning lacking Torah mitzvahs, all the things L'Shem Shemayim. Because it's written, you should make me sanctuary, you should dwell within it. Meaning the purpose of us being here is to make a place that God feels comfortable. Just like when you have a guest over in your house, you want to feel comfortable. So too, God is trying to be the guest in your house, in your house, like within your area, but the whole world. And we have to try to make God feel comfortable. And just like trying to make someone feel comfortable in the house, you invite them to sit down, you take care of them, you act menschlich to them, and you tend to their needs. So too with God, that's how it's meant to be. That's how we're meant to be doing this. Now, if you're in the desert, meaning if you're not doing those things, if you haven't prepared your house for someone to come, and you're busy talking to someone else, you're not treating your guests properly, that's not right. That's not going to work. That's what we're saying. That's what happens if you're in the desert. So that's the problem. What's the solution? Let's see. So what's the solution? If not everything you're doing is connected to God, and therefore you can't have that avenue that you want, which is and connected God in the field, but you're in the desert, you're in the wrong place. It's written, and it says you should request from there. Hashem, your God. You should request from there, Hashem, your God. What does that mean? Pirush. It's written, Hashem saw that the light was good. Pirush Razal now has explained what does it mean? Kitov leganze. It was good to hide. So there's elikus, and it's hidden. At the level of light, which is the ray of the inner Ratzon of Hashem. We all have this ray of godliness that's within us that wants to connect. But it's hidden, it's concealed. Ma'od b'tivay. And by nature, this is how it is. We have to reveal this treasure of Yerushalayim. So the issue is that we don't have this. We don't have this Yerushalayim, and we're not taking care of ourselves properly. We're not doing things we need to be doing. So what we're saying is that we have within us this ability. But how do you get it? Because we're in the desert place. We don't have these things. So how do we get it? So yesh mishu b'chinas aveda etzlei b'chinas golus. So some people, this treasure chest of Yerushalayim that we have that gives us the ability to be able to connect to God. Some people, it's her lust. And some people it's in Galus. Al zeh nema, and this it says, Bekashtem Misham. We said before in the Pasuk, Bekashtem Misham, you should request. So what does it mean? Bekashtem Shetavakesh v'techapes. You should request and you should search. What does it mean you should search? So when you lose something, what are you doing? When you lose your keys, what do you look for them? You have to look where you lost them. You don't look, it's like, let's say it's at night and you lost your keys outside, God forbid. You're not going to go next to the light pole and look for the keys. And if your keys weren't lost there, you're like, someone comes to you, hey, what are you looking for? Oh, I lost my keys. Why'd you lose them? I lost them over there. So why are you over here looking? Oh, I hear there's light. That doesn't make any sense. You're not looking from where there's light. You're looking from where you lost it. That's what he's saying. So what do you search? You have to search when you lost it. Where'd you lose it last? Meaning when I was connected and I was interested and I was involved, and then slowly petted out and started, and then I'm suddenly, what am I doing? I'm like, why am I here? El is here and I want to be more connected. When was I connected well the way I liked it? And I have to look where that was. I know Now this is, and what are we looking for? The point where we lost our nefesh elokis, meaning we lost touch with our nefesh elokis. And it could be that in seminary it was the last time we were very inspired, we were very connected. And it could be a year ago. It could be a few months ago. Whenever it is. Whenever I remember, I was like, I remember the time. I was on fire. So we have to go to remind ourselves of that place. And this is what it means in Hashem, your God. Which is the level of kel, which is the level of godliness that rests within every person. We said in the last paragraph, yesterday or 2 days ago. Because like we said, we'll explain the passage. It says, "Bekashtem misham es havai lekecha." You should request from there, Hashem, your God. So we're saying you have to request and go look for where you lost your godliness, in touch with your godliness. Vine hakas man. What does it say? Bekashtem misham. You request from there. What does that mean from there? Misham daika ki kishem sheyev shel chafetz achaveda. Never, just like when you're going to look for something you lost. You only look for it where you lost it. Like you're not going to look for the keys where there's light, but you'll look where you lost. And it's I also have to say, just like you can't miss this opportunity that, Baruch Hashem, there was a kid that went missing yesterday in camp. After 7 hours, they found him. This crazy search. And it's very connected here. You have to go look where we lost him. To look where you lost nefesh elokis. And you could say that you're losing nefesh elokis is a lot worse. To be a little bit real, but it is. It's a lot worse than losing a person because this is your connection to God. The kachlo yasig pnei Hashem, so too you won't be able to find the light of God. But your love will be to God. And the fear of Hashem should be on us. We have to look. We have to look where we lost. If you want to have the Ava and Yiras Hashem, you want to be connected to God with everything that we do, or work on it to be more connected than we are now. We have to look at where we had it and when we lost it. Like I said, we should search our ways. You should check into your actions, the diburav and your speeches, and machshava and your thoughts. From the point where it starts to become not good. That's what you have to do. You have to look for it. And what will happen? You have to become very bitter. You'll be very sad. Not in a depressing way, chas v'shalom. If it is, then you're doing it wrong and you should stop doing it. But you should be bitter. Say, I don't want to be like this. I want to be more connected. Yashav el Hashem, and then you'll return to God because you'll realize, hey, what am I doing? I want to be like that. I want to change. And you'll start to change. Yerachameu, and Hashem will have mercy on you. And because you have to arouse the mercy on your godly spark to feel bad for your nefesh lekis that it's not being able to express itself the way he wants to. Yeah. So that's the first solution. So again, if we realize, we pay attention, and the chances are we will unfortunately be like this, or realize that everything we learned before, that you have to just connect to God and have your Elul, you'll connect to God, and then open up your Ava and Yira, and your Kabbalah Soul, and you'll all be good. But then you come and you realize, that's only if I'm in the city, I'm coming to the field. But what happens if I'm in the desert? Meaning my machshav d'omaisa, my thoughts, my whole day, I look at it and it's not really connected to God. In so many ways, it's not connected to God. So what am I going to do then? So you have to look when did you get lost? When did you end up in the desert? At what point did it come to the desert? And recognizing when was I connected and when did it work for me? And when did I lose that connection? And when you recognize that, then you can go back to it and say, hey, man, like I should be there. And you start to feel bad for yourself, feel bad for nefesh lekis, my poor nefesh lekis. He's meant to be making all the decisions, and the poor nefesh lekis is stuck over there. Come, let's go speak to nefesh lekis and let's try to reconnect. And that will help you reconnect. And we're going to discuss the next few days what happens, whatever that doesn't work. And then we'll bring another solution. What happens that doesn't work? Another solution. And we'll keep on going to get all the solutions. To be continued. Be'ezras Hashem.